Hi, my name is Jeff Lindor, CEO of Groomed Success, and you're at our brand new Gentleman's Factory, and we're here with Makadrez. Jeff Lindor is somebody that was always passionate about community, passionate about people, and just a person that is on an adventure to fulfill his purpose in life. So I think I was designed to help people grow, help people build, and help change the world essentially. So Groomed Success is a gentleman's social network that helps men of color navigate, participate, and succeed in today's world. The concept really started out when I was in graduate school, and I took a social entrepreneurship class where I learned how to build an enterprise off of my passions, which was fashion and community. So I merged those two worlds together. And I really started doing gentlemen's brunches and events centered around issues that really spoke to the needs of men of color. So we would host gentlemen's brunches and networking events, social gatherings where men would just come and unite, have a conversation over a drink, over coffee, over a meal. And our first event started out with about 40, 50 guys, the gentlemen's brunch. In our last event, we had over 300 men. So it's a strong social movement. So fast forward to today, we have our physical location in the heart of central Brooklyn, and it's a duplex loft, and it's called the Gentleman's Factory. It's almost literally a factory where you can even hear pipes banging. So essentially, this is a place, a gathering space where men will come, learn, grow, connect, and build. So, the way that we envision it is that, during the day, a guy could just come in and, plug in their laptop and work or meet a client or, just if they just want to be in a comfortable space where they could just learn and then just be connected with other gentlemen. And also after work, if you want to, come to a place where you can build with other brothers that are, perhaps going through some of the same hurdles that you're going through, or just individuals that are striving. We really want to create a network of empowerment, a network of brotherhood, and a network of change agents. So, what inspired me to start Groomed Success? It really stemmed upon my life experience. I was born in Haiti, but I came to the United States at 3 years old, and I was raised in Coney Island, Brooklyn, in an at-risk environment. And for those who know Coney Island, it's in it shares a zip code with other surrounding communities that are more affluent. So I always wondered why my block or my small radius looked different than other communities. And then I would see Porsches, and Mercedes-Benz passing through, going to a gated community, while people were struggling that looked like me. So I always had this fascination of just discovering why and why and why. And navigating through life, I always saw that, it was just harder for me to get by. I had to work 10 times as hard as others. So in my journey for why and how, I figured it out in a sense. I was pretty well to do. I had some, really good, high influential jobs, high paying jobs, etc. But it wasn't easy, right? Well, not to say it wasn't easy, but, I, again, had to work 50 times as harder as someone else. So I made it out the hood, but there's so many other guys that I grew up with, or that I know, that weren't as fortunate. Now, they were all very talented, super smart, but they just didn't know how to navigate and participate and succeed in today's world. So that's what really helped birthed the passion for community development and empowerment and an upliftment, you know, and that's where Groomed Success stems from. If I could describe Groomed Success in 4 words, the first word would be fashionable. Because again, we want to make sure that guys are well groomed. We want to make sure that you know how to dress. There's some guys, brothers, I love you all, but you know, some of you guys really need to spice up your wardrobes a little bit, right? So we're certainly fashionable. We want to make sure that you look your best every time you step outside of your house. The second word would be social enterprise. Social enterprise and social innovation and social entrepreneurship. How do you build an enterprise and make lots of money while serving the public good, doing public good, serving and helping humanity? Another word that I will use is innovative, right? Innovative in the sense of how do you use technology, best practices, new ideas, creativity, and package it to advance and enhance people of color. And we will certainly be building apps. We're going to serve as that glue to help you navigate, participate, and succeed in today's world. I have to strongly emphasize today's world. It's forever evolving, it's forever changing, and we are making sure that as society is shifting, we're educating you and empowering you and giving you the tools needed for you to ride that wave as well. And my last word, I would say, is cool, right? It's cool to see a whole bunch of brothers in a room, dressed up, suited up, having conversation, chilling, laughing, having jokes, watching TV, or just talking sports. It doesn't have to be all empowering all the time. It's literally a space where you just chill, learn, connect, grow. So I would say that this is a really strong movement that, people just want to be a part of. Man, definitely come by, check us out, become a member, because this is a life-changing experience. Groomed Success is working to benefit the community because of the population that we serve. What makes this very unique is, we serve as early as individuals, young men in 5th grade, right? So 5th grade, helping you transition into junior high school. And then from junior high school, the transition, you just learning your body and who you are and coming into being a man, the whole puberty stage, etc. And then going into high school to college, career, marriage, etc. Literally navigating through life. And we have partnerships with schools, universities, where we have a robust curriculum that touches upon, a number of soft skills and tangible takeaways that will equip you with the tools needed for you to advance and excel in your careers. Within our network, we have, individuals that, went to Harvard and Yale and Columbia and, are extremely wealthy, right? And then we have individuals that are, in the upper middle class, the lower middle class, and guys that are just figuring out life, right? So having all of these guys on one umbrella, there's such a richness to it, right? And all of our events are themed, right? Our last event was Strive for Greatness. Another event that we had was Spark Innovation. Because having all of these different mindsets and perspectives and, life's experiences all in one room and still share the, share the same commonality. Oh man, there's so many great things that comes out. What makes the network unique and rich is the diversity that we have. I think a lot of people think that, if you're black, you were all, grew up in the hood and you're broken, you just made it out. That's some. But then there's some guys that, grew up in a middle class environment. There's some black guys that grew up rich, right? We're all unique. Though society likes to think that we're all the same person. So I think that with Groomed Success, we really want to create a strong network of men from different life experiences so that we can all come together, learn, grow, connect, and build. So now within this network that we have, we oftentimes go into schools and we expose young men to the guys that are within our network. Right? So for example, oftentimes when we go to schools, the first thing that we ask is, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? And a lot of times the young men say they want to be Steph Curry, LeBron James, Odell Beckham. And those are all three guys that are fantastic. But I think that we need to also expose our young men to other realms of blackness, other realms of professions, other realms of possibilities. So within our network, we would have our young men. We would have the members of Groomed Success go into the school so that young men can say, oh, you know what, I want to be a physician assistant, or I want to be a doctor, or a lawyer, or a rapper, or an artist, or I want to be the accountant that manages LeBron James' finances, right? Or the banker that is overseeing, all of the accounts of the New York Knicks, etc. Right? So again, really showing them that there are other realms of possibilities outside of what they just see on TV every single day. The Gentleman's Factory serves as that resource, the physical location, because after we have sessions with our young people, they would come to the Gentleman's Factory. And we would have a mixer with the seasoned professionals within our network and also the young men that we had, that just finished our courses. So we would have a networking event where, where the young men would, greet the men within our network. When we go into schools, we teach executive presence, defining your professional look, social media etiquette, how to craft an elevator pitch, how to start a business. Now, we would have the young men come to the Gentleman's Factory. They would meet seasoned professionals within our network, and they would interact with each other. So if you're a young man from Brownsville or a particular community where in your immediate proximity, you are seeing things that could potentially be detrimental to your advancement, we then show you other realms of blackness where men that perhaps would have grown up in those same environments, but they made it out. So you don't necessarily have to be the next LeBron James. My biggest milestone to date was getting this loft. I have a duplex loft in central Brooklyn, right? With fantastic views, and it's, words can't even, you guys just need to come out. This is an experience of a lifetime. And this did not happen overnight. We started out doing a gentleman's brunch, and again, we had about 40, 50 guys. And then we would host a number of other events. And it was well attended. It kept on growing. It kept on growing. It kept on growing to about 300 guys. Then I really needed to understand and sit back to say, what is this? Am I going to continue doing events? Events are good. It's fun. But how effective am I if we just keep meeting? And again, meeting is great. But if right next to me I have a venture capitalist, but I can't articulate, and I have a company that I'm trying to build, but I can't articulate my need for funding to the person that's in immediate proximity to me, that's a problem. And at our events, we had individuals who were extremely well-to-do, and we had guys with great ideas. but there was a gap. So that's when I took a step back to say, okay, you know what, how can I be more effective? And I embedded a curriculum. And then also said, how can I, going back to effectiveness and revenue and, really scaling it. I came out with an accessories line, lapel pins and bow ties and ties, etc., where guys know where to shop. But I was doing all of this while working full-time. Full-time, wife, 2 children, working in government, over 6 figures. Then I really needed to know, okay, you know what? I really needed to sit back to say, how can I be more effective? And I took the leap of faith. I quit my job. I gave my job a 2-month notice. I saved, so it wasn't an emotional decision. I prayed about it, and my wife co-signed. I love her, thank you. And I took the jump. That was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The advice that I would give young black men of today in at-risk areas and at-risk communities is this: cherish your experience. Your experience is so rich. I remember me growing up in Coney Island, Brooklyn, in an at-risk neighborhood. And, I would hear gunshots and, I would, pass through, gangs and, see drug dealers, etc. And I still had to take the Regents exam. And I still had to study. And I still had to, graduate high school and then go to college. And still work and do everything else that others would do. But they didn't have the same risk factors that I had. But what I learned about those risk factors, though, was it helped shape me. It helped mold me. It built me. So when I'm in the corporate world, I understand emotional intelligence because I know how to read people. Because I had to read the drug dealer or the gangbanger on the basketball court because I had to see, okay, is he upset? Will he take out the gun? Will he shoot us or will he try to get us jump? So I had to read that. That's experience that I couldn't have gotten from a textbook. That's an experience that I got from life. So your experience that you have now, young people, couple that with book smarts, you will be a machine. Take advantage of it. Success is cool. Reading is cool. So incorporating your, life's challenges while understanding policy and understanding community development and understanding business, and understanding technology and innovation, Harvard can't teach you that. Go to Harvard, though. If you go to Harvard with that mindset and the experience that you've had growing up, you are a machine, and you'll be a legend.